Hi, I'm Susie Holohan from Dancing Stitches, Cambridge, Ontario, Canada. I'm here today. I wanted to talk to you about sewing notions. And just before you get all nervous about spending $1 million on things that you think you need, I found some great ideas from the dollar store that we use all the time, so they're tried and tested. So the first thing I thought about was, what do we need the most? We need organization. Here's some things we use. We have an organizer for our handy dandy scissors, rulers from the dollar store. Speaking of scissors, because they're stored in here for a minute to show you, we use crappy scissors from the dollar store for all our crappy cutting, not fabric. The reason why is we're going to save our good scissors, and if you grew up in a home of sewers, you know don't touch my good scissors. Use these ones, mark them, color them, do something, and use them for all the trims that you don't want to use your good scissors on. Handy item, holds a lot of stuff. Another organizer we found is an office tray. Brilliant, brilliant for many things. We have them in our drawers to hold scissors to keep things separate. We have them for marking tools. We can actually put fabric pieces in them, refold them a little bit better than this whole little triangle here. We can put project pieces when we're laying them out for quilting. We can put the little individual components in here. These are brilliant. Last one I found today, so good luck finding one. You can find a different dollar store. Another bin we use is a little tiny bin for threads. When you have them in a big bin, you can't see what you have. So that's okay, because you can come and buy extra at Dancing Stitches, my little plug. But if you want to see what you have, put them in something small. This is an organizer for patterns. However, we're going to come back to this when we do a different idea. Because it has sections, we can put our components in here for quilting. We can use it for piecing. There's lots of uses, and there's going to be one more in a minute. I'm not going to put this one too far away. Another organizer we've come up with for our feet. This is in the tool department of the dollar store for hardware. It's great to hold all your things separately, because sometimes you spend more time looking for the zipper foot or the darning foot. There's so many different feet. Bernina actually has over 100 different feet and accessories for their sewing machines. So because I'm a gadget collector and a feet collector, not mine because I only have 2, we have to be able to organize them so I can find them, because my sewing time is limited. So I need to find quickly a zipper foot or a Teflon foot to sew plastic, which we'll get to. Next thing I want to talk about, plastic bags. Storage for your projects. We use a lot of plastic bags because we can keep things organized, and we can write on here with a Sharpie so we know exactly which pieces we have in here. We have all different sizes. We don't carry them because we don't carry Ziploc bags, but you can pick these up anywhere. All right, another thing for organizing is little tiny cupcake holders, bakers. Not really sure what they are. I'm not tearing it off to eat my cupcake. I'm gonna eat the cupcake. These are fantastic when you have little tiny pieces or buttons or beads or things you're gonna sew on your little charms. Because they're sturdy, they don't fall over, and they're cute. They have jelly beans. They make me want jelly beans now. I would love to hear about any sewing hacks that you guys have for storing and organization, because it's my nemesis, only because I collect so many things that I need to have more storage. So send them along and we will put them in our next video. One of the things that I've heard people complain about is their foot pedal. Because their foot pedal slides around, and by the time you're done sewing, your leg is outstretched, you have cramps in the calf. So what I've come up with is 2 different things. A tray that you can set your foot pedal on, and look, it's non-slip tray. So we can put our foot pedal in there, it's going nowhere, really. Another one is a dish mat. Same idea, but it doesn't have the lip. So this I thought was pretty clever. You can put it either way. Look, you can put it this way, you can put it this way. Non-slip, and just a few bucks to keep your foot pedal in place, save your leg. Speaking of sewing machines, We need to keep them clean. We fix machines here. We see a lot of lint and debris in the bottom of sewing machines. And if it's crazy, the technician will put it in a bag and give it back to the person just to show them how much stuff has gathered in the bottom.
What can happen
if your lint it gets built up? No. When your lint gets built up in the bottom of your sewing machine, it can dry out the oils and lubrications that are in the gears. It can strip it. It can jam it. You can knock the timing out. There's a whole lot of issues that can go wrong with lint. So what I use is a pastry brush because it's soft. It brushes everything out without damaging some of the little springs. Another thing that we use is handy dandy little makeup applicators for mascara. They are soft because they're from the dollar store, so they're not great quality. So they're disposable. They don't come out. But look, they're soft. And they will get the little tiny areas underneath your throat plate. The next thing I'd like to move on to is marking. We have to do a lot of marking with sewing. Some of the things that are good to use, I'll show you the ones I use from the dollar store. Chalk. Pencils. Regular pencils. These are great because they're washable and they erase. Another thing I use is Post-it notes to go with my pencil, and I label everything. So every piece I cut, I would put the measurement down here, 8 by 10, whatever the size is, stick it on my piece as I cut it, and we're good to go. I won't mix them up because some of the measurements when you're cutting for quilting can be 1/8 of an inch difference. Try to figure that out as you're going in the middle of the night. At midnight, you won't bother. All right. Painter's tape. If you need to mark sewing lines on your quilt, on your machine, anywhere, this is not very sticky, so it works. Doesn't work to come off, but it works for your sewing machine. So we use this as a guide often. We stitch beside it. We try not to stitch through it, but if it does, it will cleanly tear away. Another thing we use is Stretch and Seal. Now there's different brands of Stretch and Seal. What it does is, because it's sticky, it will adhere to the top of your quilt. You can then mark your design with a Sharpie pen on top of your Stretch and Seal. So if you want to do a motif or some intricate quilting, trace this off, lay it on your quilt, you can stitch through it, and all's well. Now when we're cutting out, sometimes we need to have a template. So if you have rulers or a triangle or a circle, if you purchase, I have one out, one in, a cutting mat, these are thick enough that your rotary cutter will go along the side of it, and it also gives you a good tracing guide. Use your crappy scissors to cut these out, or an X-Acto knife. Don't use your sewing scissors, remember? Now, when we're stitching, some of the things that we use, so now we're going to talk about stitching. Adding machine paper. Don't know what it is. I think it's magical. We go through rolls of it here. Cash register tape for those people that are too young for adding machines, because you all have phones now with your calculator on it. This paper we use for sewing over plastic, vinyl, underneath your fabric if you're doing decorative stitching. But look, just a big long roll will last you forever. Another dollar store hack. These are little binder clips. We can use these now for sewing. Hair clips, perfect for attaching binding. Clip it on, your binding's on, your pocket's on, your zipper's on, anything you need to attach. These are all, again, handy and easy to access. We also use clips for sewing. These are from the store, but these little clips are kind of the same and kind of different. You kind of need a variety. Now I'd like to give you some dollar store pressing hacks, plus some other tips. We use parchment paper all the time. Anytime we're doing fusible, applique, interfacing, anything. We put it on the bottom, on top of our nice little ironing board I covered with delicious Tula fabric, and on the top to protect our iron at the time. We don't want to gum up our iron. Speaking of our iron, we also don't want to put water in to create steam. It will rust your iron out. What I found was a spray bottle from the Dollar Store, and it's pink, so it matches. So we would spray whatever we're doing, especially with fusible, because steam creates fusible things to stick. No, steam allows fusible items to stick. This is not from the Dollar Store, but I'm just going to throw this in here. This is a mister bottle. So even though they're more expensive, when you spray them, they give a little fine mist. You can soak people down when they're hot, the sweating from all the workout of sewing, because sewing is a big workout. The other thing I have is a glue gun mat from the Dollar Store. So we can lay this beside and put our iron on it. So if we need the whole board beside our sewing machine, I would not set this directly on my table. I would put a folded towel underneath it, but it's non-stick, so it will hold it. Especially if you have little tiny irons, they're awkward to put on your ironing board. So I use a little tiny glue mat, and it works fantastic. Right. Here's an interesting fact, probably shouldn't do this on camera. This is a silicone spatula for ironing. We sell these at the store for around $17. I won't put the name out there. This is from the Dollar Tree. This is $1.25. Just saying, they're very similar. This one works, this one works. $17, $1.25. You can tell people if you want to give it for a gift, it's $17 because you know what, we have them. If not, $1.25. Oh, we've cleaned them out right in Cambridge, so you're gonna have to wait right now because we've given them out. Some of the other quick little gadgets that we've used, weights. Just because we have a gym attached to our sewing store, long story, we don't do a lot of working out, so this would be it. We use these on the end of our ruler when we're not great at cutting because it holds the weight of, I'm not gonna do it because now it's gonna smash the ruler. It holds the top of the ruler down, so if I'm cutting, this secures it if I don't have the strength in my shoulder to do it. This is a gripper glove. I just found these. For sewing, picking up, holding fabric, quilting, free motion quilting. It has two sides. A lot of people will cut the fingertips off and use them instead of putting the whole glove on. So I just found this one and thought it's cool because it's pink again, so we can use it. Couple more little tips. Chopsticks. Chopsticks for turning, poking, using it as a sewing awl to shove stuff under the presser foot. Get the plastic ones. The wooden ones will give you splinters, which is okay because they sell Band-Aids anyways and tweezers, so we can get them out. So we use chopsticks all the time. They are everywhere by every machine. The last couple things that I found are a drop cloth in the hardware department. I just want to show you the yardage. This is 4 feet by 5 feet for a few dollars, and it's a canvas. You could pre-wash this because it will shrink because it's loosely woven. However, these are great for linings on the back of wall hangings that aren't going to be washed, for bag linings, and look at the fabric you're getting. See, fantastic. Even though we sell muslin here, $14 a yard, meter. Fantastic, fantastic. We use these all the time. Right. The other thing we use is either a vinyl shower curtain, something plasticky. This is a storage bag for all your unfinished projects, if you need a big one like this. Not me, because I don't have any. Or 4 million, I need bigger. We cut these up and we use them, and I hope they're food grade safe. We line sandwich wraps with them. If you're making reusable snack bags, we make little vinyl purses, fabric pizza. We can use shower curtains. We use this was a shower curtain, and it now is a wet bag. You could use it for diapers. I don't need one yet. For babies, you can use it for snacks, washcloths if you're on the go. So we put a little zipper on the top, and we cut up the shower curtain, and we made little bags. The other thing we use from there is towels. We cut them up and we make reusable paper towels, and these I do use. I have a cute little basket on the end of my counter and I made a ton of these, and we use these for napkins, whatever we need at the moment. They're from the dollar store, so we buy towels and we cut them up. They're not super absorbent, but they're great for just a quick go-to. Napkins. We've bought napkins at the dollar store and we've embroidered on them. We've used them for bread basket liners. We've used them for bags inside lining. I do want to show you, you can buy magnets to hang your reusable paper towel up. There's one here. Ta-da! Not very strong. Not a great dollar store hack. Just going to tell you, don't waste your money on these. For this, they're too heavy. Go to an auto supply store. They have fantastic magnets. All right. And rope. We make rope bowls here. You can buy rope at the dollar store. Another thing to look for, hardware department, craft department, pretty soft. However, does work for certain little things if I want to put my clips in it for my little hair clips. This is in the hardware department. It's a polyester rope, a cotton rope. You never know what you can find there. So don't think you're getting off that easy that I'm not going to show you some cool gadgets that we have at the store. The reason why I wanted to show you is these are some things you may not know are available. Stain away. This one, it's spot remover. This is grandma's, not my grandma. This is someone's grandma's secret spot remover. Stains on anything, fantastic. I haven't tried it on blood because you know if you get blood on your things that you're sewing, you can spit on it and it takes your blood out. Your blood, your spit. Doesn't work on other people's. Tried it. Actually, I haven't, but I will someday. Magnetic bowl for pins. These are your pet savers, so they don't have pins in their feet and save your save your vet bills. I don't know what I was going to say there. Die catchers. Die catchers, so you don't pre-wash your fabric. You can put these in, give it as a gift. If you give the quilt, send it along a die catcher. If they bleed, no, not the bleeding of the DNA spit, but bleeding of the colors, we can put a die catcher in the wash and it will catch all that excess stuff and save your quilt. Grippy spray. Remember we talked about the weight holding down your ruler? This gets sprayed on the back. Oh, I could even do it. And it gives it a little rubber coating. Hope I don't choke to death. No, it's not. See? I can breathe. It's not that bad. Kidding. Grippy spray gives it a little rubbery coat so it's non-slip. Worth the investment, will last you forever because you only have a few rulers. All right. This as well is a little gripper for small little rulers. When you're trying to cut and move little things, this locks onto the top. You can easily move it around on your fabric without distorting your fabric. Important tip. Cutting gizmo. When you're chain piecing, this sits beside your machine. It has a little tiny razor blade on the top. Boom, 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 boom. You cut your pieces apart. It takes 30 seconds. No, it takes less. All right. Of course, we have a little sip and snip. This holds my cuttings so they don't hit the floor. It's not true. They still hit the floor. But this will help. And of course my tea has to sit there because I need to think and I need to have my tea. When the Bernina is cutting my fabric with the automatic cutter, it takes a second. That's when I take a sip of my tea. Not wine, tea. Someday will be wine when I start to drink. Fabric glide. For those of you that do free motion quilting, this anchors your fabric. You can move it around. And there's my exercise. I have exercise, exercise. See? See? All right. Oh, not this pen. These are friction pens. And I'm not sure if anyone has used these before. These erase with heat. So you can mark all over. Any marking you need to do if you're doing anything. Pocket placement, free motion quilting. They come in different colors. They go along with our chalk from the dollar store because sometimes I have a dark fabric and I need something light. And once I'm done with it, I iron it and it's gone away. One word of warning, it does come back in -10-degree weather. So if it's something for outdoors, like the front of a coat, you may not want to write messages all over your garment. Could be have a nice day, could be other things that I can't say on camera. Just a word of warning for that, but we do use these all the time because even though we live in Canada, I am not outside in -10 weather. I'm at home in my sewing room, my clean and organized sewing room. So again, those last group of products I showed you are just some little tidbits in case you have a birthday coming up, you want to treat yourself. Those are things we have available at the store or your local quilt shop, although we do deliver anywhere because we ship online. And I want you to think about some of the things how you can make your sewing life easier. So as we say to everyone, get your sew on. If you have any tips you want to share, questions, messages, concerns, you can comment below on this video. You can send the store an email at celebratesewing@gmail.com, or you can find us on our website at www.dancing-stitches.com. We're easy to find. I think we are anyways. I can find me, so you can too. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We are uploading videos frequently now because we have lots to talk about. We'll have sewing tips, tricks, how to use the notions, all different things, depending on the week. We'll see you soon.